Yo, where is... What's up, guys? We are gonna go live. Right here. Oh, okay. All right, setting up. We're gonna be working on our cabinets today. All right, we got the cabinets. We're gonna trim them out with these pieces of woods here. We have some, not brad nails, these are, what are they called? 23 gauge pin nails. These were literally the only ones at the store, at Lowe's. These drawers are from my MITERSAW and planer station. So what I'm gonna start doing here is throwing some glue on the drawers themselves. We already backfilled the cabinets because we had a few splinters. So I already filled everything in. That was on the thumbnail. We sanded everything down with 220 grit. Everything is nice and sharp, crisp, so we can have a really good seal. Then we have, just so we can keep it temporarily in place and keep moving, we have our brad nailer, not our brad nailer, our pin nailer that we'll use in order to keep this thing steady. Once we get these pieces of trim on here, then we'll go ahead, get the bottoms and the tops, and then sand everything so it's flush. When we go and put these, if there's any gap, we'll go ahead and, or every overfill, we'll go and make sure that we sand it down. Okay. Oh, this one's short. Okay. Let me see, I think one of them might be too small of these. Yeah, one of these is a bit too short, that one. This one's a bit too small, about an eighth. These are for the little ones. It's two small ones per side. It's just to trim it out to make it look nice for decoration. These are gonna get painted green, like we've been painting everything else in the shop right now. These are all the tops for all of them. So we'll start with the sides first. Let me see if I can get this one cut to this length, or else it's gonna be a bit small. I'll be back. And we do not. Okay. Okay, I think this other one might be longer. Yeah, it'll be okay over there. It's the first time I use this little tool here. So let's see how this thing actually works out. It's a pretty little interesting little thing. Alrighty, I'm gonna lay it down so that I can use the table to make sure they're flat on the bottom. We'll do all the drawers like this, and then we'll move over, do all the sides only, and then we'll do the tops for everything. Oh shit. Okay. This one moved a little bit. Okay, that's good. Shit. Awkward. I'm gonna have to go back and make sure I drive the rest of that nail in, because it's still leaving them a little bit outside. But before I put the tops, I will make sure I come and sand them down, because they're just a 1/16 over. This side's perfect before I sand it down. But that'll be the trim out. And then I'll do the same with the bottom. So that'll be those. But that'll be that. See? We have our little rag to clean off any glue. This little thing, I got it from local woodworking store. Comes with this little tray. I think until today I hadn't found anything that I could use it on. So finally I have something valid that I can actually bring it out for. Once the glue sets, this will be nice and sturdy. It won't come off. So we're pretty good on that. And oh wait, I didn't even hit this one. Did I hit that previous one? Yeah, I'm fucking up already. But it's gonna have plenty to do anyways. No spill out on that one, so that's it. Just making sure I don't leave any residue. the filler that I use on the grain is also water based, so I want to make sure I don't wash it off. So right now they do have the nails kind of sticking out a little bit, like a 16th out. So I'll have to be careful with that. But that'll allow me to continue. Now I can go ahead. Let me see. Now I can go ahead and pre-do all these. I can probably prep a few of these. I can do them all at the same time. These are for my custom flip top table that we're just trying to finish up in our entire shop so that we can get on to building our trucks, our body kits that we're designing and producing. They are a conversion kit to make any 1999 to 2007 Silverado trucks look like a 2026 brand new truck. You can avoid paying for a brand new truck $80,000, but you get everything about the truck for an eighth of the price, a fraction of the price. I'm not too concerned about leaving it a 16th poking outward, because I will be taping the walnut when I paint this with tape, the green frog tape, so that I can have some very nice crisp lines. But everything's gonna be covered with green paint, that army green that we've been doing to the shop lately. And then this is gonna be the only part of wood that's gonna be sticking out or trim wise. So it will be if I leave it a 16th out, once I paint 2 layers of paint on the surface, it'll be nice and smooth. If I do it backwards, if I leave these recessed in and then do 2 coats of paint, they're very thin, but they will show a little bit of depth to these, though they will look recessed in. So it's very minimal what I'm leaving them towards the outside, but I am leaving them protruding. And if for some reason I don't like that look and they seem to be poking out of or standing out too much, I could always put tape on the painted surface and sand these down. And this is just plain water here that I have on this rag. Some of them are a little bit longer, but I'm totally okay with that because I'm gonna come down and shave them down. This side is smooth and flat, so I can already start doing this process. I'll make sure this one's flat and even as well. And before I do these sides, I'll just come trim these down on both sides, make sure it's super square. I didn't do 45s on these because with the stain that I'm gonna put on these, you won't be able to see the miter saw. We'll make sure that it's very tight fit. Before I flip them over so it's not scratching up my table though, I will make sure that I drive these pin nails all the way down. So I'm just gonna take my flathead hammer here. Just so that they're not scratching on my little table. I'll probably do the same with these before I move on. I think I like this one better. A little bit more weight to it. So they're flush on the back side and a 16th out on the front. As I mentioned, that way the film of paint can fill them up. And then these will all have just like that. If you guys can see, I'll double check right now. But before I do, I do gotta go ahead and sand. You guys can see like it won't be showing any kind of gap or anything on them. Let me see. Yes, for a custom flip top. How you doing, bro? What you making? This is a flip top table for our MITERSAW and planer station. Sorry guys, I wasn't looking at so this is a flip top here. Gerard Securia, if you're still here. Cabinet doors with that. What board should I use? Honestly, it's all up to you, bro. For cabinets, shelves with the European hinges. This is my flip top, my adjustable height frame. It has a butcher blocks that will be both here. Let me see. This is the butcher blocks that will support my work surface. It takes my miter saw in here, and if I don't need that, I just spin it over and I could use my planer. If you guys have ever done any kind of work, obviously most things 2x4s are all 8-footers. You have 10-footers, 12-footers, and baseboards, stuff like that are all plus 8 feet and more. So these will have those brackets. Those are for one side. I have another two that just arrived today for the other side, but you'll have a wing here. Oh. And we just pretend that this is gonna be my next butcher block. And let me see, I'll try to zoom out for you guys. There you go. So that's one butcher block. My hinges will allow me to have a table that'll fold down when I don't need it and then expand so I can have 10 feet worth of work surface. When I switch between my miter saw and my planer, I have to adjust the heights. So instead of having to adjust the height of the tables mounted on, I made these brackets, and then it's just bolts. You raise and lift, you lift and lower the bolts to give you a height difference. Once you make it level, you could just power the system up and down. And then these are the drawers that I'm making right now. So when I'm, this is the green that I'm gonna paint on the center of the drawers. That way everything matches on this side. This is gonna be the woodworking station. I have like routers, tools, jigs for cabinet stuff, uh, handles, what is it, Craig tools, saw blades, anything like that on this side. I have some other spots for specialty tools. We did last week, we finished making this on live. This is another flip top over here, allowing you to have specialty grinders on the bottom, belt sanders, disc sander over here. This is my custom flip up welding table with a table saw on the side of it. If I want to just drop this, there's 3 hinges that hold it up. And then obviously we've been working on this one. We've been waiting to finish this one up because the same thing, we will order new hinges for this that will allow me to add this table here as a fold up. So when I want to grind or prep anything that I'm going to be welding, obviously I got my big welding table for fixturing things, but on the move, I'll have this one accessible. I can fold it up, weld, grind, prep, bevel, anything like that, fold it down. And then we finished building this one last week. We just need to stain it, do the finals. My different setups, so that way I can have everything around me when I need it. And we just finished securing the tanks over here. That way I don't have to pull them over or anything. As you guys can see, this did fall on a specified welding card that I got from like Harbor Freight. Somehow the chains loosened up, this thing fell over. Luckily nothing happened, but I want to make sure that that was secured. So I have these press blocks, and that won't be going on. Even if I have to run over cables around the shop or anything, it'll be nice and safe. As for the shelves that you were asking, see, Jack Jackson, this right here is just butcher block. It's already dusty here, but you see, this is the same thing that I'm doing with these cabinet drawers. I made an edge band using walnut, as you can see on the back here. So that is, this stain that I did is a little dark, and it was one coat of this color. This brand right here is a water base. It stains it and it clears it for you, so it protects it, so you don't have to do a 2-step. This was one coat on both the panel and the butcher block. The butcher block went a lot darker. That is just what is it, maple plywood sheets. So that's the color that you would get from this, or the butcher block that would absorb a little bit more. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do the next side of these. So when I'm ready for it, I'll flip it over and then I'll sand these smooth, because they will not go by. But for now, I'm just gonna flip these over, prep them with glue, and then do all the drawers like this, sand everything, and then do the tops. The glue itself is more stronger than anything, whether you use screws, brad nails, or pin nails. The pin nails are only gonna hold it temporarily so that you can continue working on things. Just trying to fill them up so I don't have any kind of problem if they grab on anything. The only thing that's gonna hold it in place is the glue once it dries. Temporarily will just be the pin nails. Okay, it's a little dripping, just clean it up before it dries up, before you move on. You got maybe 10 minutes to clean it, maybe clean it within 5 minutes. And then I am bringing it out like I mentioned, so that the film of paint will fill that gap up. I drive a few nails straight in, no angle, and then I do drive one or two sideways so that they hold in place a little bit more. And then just simply wipe off and you're set. So just so it doesn't start to dry, I might just throw these under so they start to absorb into the wood itself, which is not a bad thing. I'll try to turn the camera around, so if you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer you guys. I sanded all the faces about an hour ago, so those are all pretty much ready to go and get painted. If I see anything on them by the time I finish doing all these, I'll just give them a quick sand, but they were already flattened up. And just like I did the other side, I'll just drive anything. Done. I got some extras. Same process with this, just filling them up with glue. Just make sure that you have a really good bond. I'm gonna just put them on there just so it doesn't start to dry. The process, the time, I guess doesn't really matter. They're all facing a certain way, so I'll make sure that the tops are level and square, so that way I only have to worry about one side. Just makes it easier if you spend just the time to sand this side to make them flush. It'll save you not having to do the other side. Keeping it flush on one side. Just make sure you don't nail your fingers. That's the only thing you need to worry about. Again, flush on the front, flush on the top. There's a little bit of a lip, and then whatever's extra, leave it on the back side. If it's just flush, then you just save yourself some time. I didn't cut every individual piece to a specific drawer. I try to cut them all a little bit big, so I have a little bit of sanding. If you guys have any questions, let me know, guys. Again, my top is over here where it's open, so I'll make sure that that side is nice and flush. Alright, you just gotta be a little bit concentrated when you're doing that, I guess. Alright, so now I only have these. So that means we have to put this on the side here. Or cover it so we don't fill it up with sand. I try to keep everything square on the top. If I wanted to double check, as long as my table, if my table is flat, then I can just smack it on a little bit. It shouldn't move. I can double check to see how that would fit. That's pretty clean, no gap. Once I clamp that down right here, it'll be nice and flat on both sides. These are perfectly to the size, but these were cut so I can sand them on the bottom. But with that being there, this one I can probably tap it a little bit lower. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually put the tops on in case, because with the pin nails, you could always do a small bit of adjustment. Since they're not like the brat nails that have a big stud in the head, you can still move it around a little bit. So what I could do is put all the tops. If I need to, I can adjust it. Then I'll stop, sand the bottoms, and then put the bottoms. So I'll go ahead and start doing that. I'll just maybe do a quick check. I didn't smack these in. Maybe just be careful that you don't split the little pieces of trim. So with these, I should be able to line them up. Do the same thing, add some glue. I'll probably just do a little bit of spacing so that I don't put glue on the faces. Then I should be able to do 4 at a time. Right? Some of them still have the original green from the lumber yard, but once I line them up, that bit is very small, so it's like a 30-second. Just sand it up real quick, fill them up, stain them, and you won't be able to tell. So just fill them up. Make sure you have a consistent film of glue, because that'll be the main thing that holds this together. You don't want these falling apart. Just filling it up. Then flip them over. Let me know if you guys have any questions. What kind of wood is that? This is just birch. That's what it was. It wasn't maple. It's birch. Birch cabinets. This is MDF. The drawer fronts are or whatever I just said, oak or whatever. But this is made. Shit, I'm all messed up. This is birch. This is oak. So make oak fronts. Shit, I'm all over the place, guys. Sorry. Hold on. Let me get this shit before it dries up. Walnut on the trim, birch on the cabinets. That's what it is. I'm also listening outside. I don't know. Got too many things going on outside. Squaring up the sides, making sure that I don't have any gaps on the sides. This one I do. Smooth on that side, a small lip on this side. That's good. I'm still keeping that popping out for the paint film, but I'll correct that once I add the layers of paint. Okay, now wipe it off again before it starts to fill in. What? I was all confused with my wood species here. What I have is walnut on the trims. These brown darker pieces are walnut, and these are birch plywood. Sorry about that, guys. I'll make sure that I don't have any glue on the inside, because that'll obviously look bad. So that'll be done. Obviously that's a lot of glue. When you guys are going about cutting in this case the walnut, you'll end up with sawdust. So if you guys have anything you guys need to fill any gaps, I'll just show a little example. Say if I wanted to fill this in, some of the sawdust, you fill it in, and when you go to sand it, it'll be that color. The wood glue will help bond those pieces in there. No, I don't think I need it. Okay, pretty good on those. I'll continue cleaning these so I can move on to the next pieces. These are the tops. Those are smooth. Move that over there. Making sure my tops are all flat, so we don't have to sand right now. I'll sand on the bottom sides only. Okay. Some of the glue is starting to set up. Okay, that one's on this one I did equal. On the very first one that I did with the small ones. Let me see if I can adjust that. Might be a little late for these. I'm gonna try to just tap just a piece of wood. That one's pretty dry. This one I have to polish it. Alright, I'm gonna have to sand that one. My planers, I need to polish them up again. There's only 2 of them out of all of them, so I didn't do too bad. When I do the other sides, I'm gonna have to switch that piece of paper because that is 220. It's gonna take too long. So I'll start with that one. Continue here. I got 4 of these ready. I'm gonna start gluing these up. Okay. All right, same as before. Keeping it flat on both sides. And then keeping it a 16th or a 32nd outside of the face of the face frame. Just clean up all the glue before you move on. I gotta clean my rag because it's leaving residue now. You might be able to see that there's a small lip, that's all. That's on purpose. I want that for the film to be nice and smooth with it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean the back. Alright guys, let me just go clean up my rag and then I'll continue with the other sides. Now I just got the two tops, the two big ones I mean. This one's smooth, that one is not. I just need to sand this one down. Give me a second, guys. All right, just had to answer work right there real quick. So that's smoothed down. Whoa. Here's this. I need to get some sanding paper, guys. I gotta get. I'm gonna use 120 grit to sand the bottoms, so I can do the bottoms, guys. You just buy the bigger sheets of sandpaper, and you get more sandpaper for your square sanders than if you buy the pre-made square ones. And I suggest this. It lasts longer, and you can get more pieces. It also gives you smaller pieces when you waste these, or any cut-offs that you, after you use them, you have like little pieces that you can use for finger or hand sanding. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay. All right, guys. I'll be back in a few. I got some calls I gotta make real quick.